afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Deb. I am your host, also known as the Silence Lesbian. We are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today, but we're going to dive right in. We're going to be talking about the Greater Than campaign, y'all. What the hell is it? What are we talking about? What is the Greater Than campaign? The Greater Than campaign is like the pushback to the human rights campaigns of the Equality Matters, where you see the equal sign. So their actual campaign is the Greater Than sign, which is to push against the human rights campaign for same-sex attraction. Now, we are going to break down this brand new campaign, y'all, that is quietly gaining massive amounts of momentum, okay? We have to watch this one because this one is a little bit more thought out. It's a little bit more strategic. It can have some serious, massive implications, in my opinion, on same-sex marriage within the United States. So it's called the Greater Than campaign. And at first glance, it seems pretty darn harmless. You go on there, it looks like they're talking about protecting children. But then when you start digging into it, you realize what you're actually finding is a coordinated effort to roll back marriage equality and parents' rights within that marriage equality spectrum. So we're going to walk through it. I'm going to give you my opinion. We're going to watch a couple of videos. We're going to talk to you about a couple things, but we're just going to dive right in, okay? So it was launched first in January of this year of 2026, and it was built by a coalition of 47 different organizations. Now, the explicit goal is to overturn Obergefell versus Hodges. The only way that they can get that done, essentially, is this is their core message. Children are greater than adults' desires. They argue same-sex marriage actually has a direct harm to the children that are involved, that it harms it. So they frame this, right, as this children's right organization, right? But really what this is just, it is about homosexuals being parents, having children, whether that's through surrogacy, through IVF, whether or not you have a breakup and you end up with a different sex partner, whatever it is, they are trying to prevent children from being raised in same-sex households. That's really what's going on here. So the campaign talks about children, you know, having the right to have a mom, having the right to a dad, and that it's child abuse.
What do you really expect out of the Greater Than campaign? What kind of results do you want out of this?
We're going to win.
Okay,
That's
define winning.
Yeah, three things. We are going to ask questions in policy and in the courts that is very, very different from the questions they asked before. We're not going to be talking about the adults or to the adults. We're going to be talking about the children. The question is, do children have a right to their own mother and father? This is not about adult validation. This is about child protection. So we are going to advance that kind of reasoning in policy matters. Number two, we're going to change public opinion. I think we've learned from the pro-life movement that it's not enough for a terrible decision to fall in terms of the courtrooms. We have to help people understand
it's
that
necessary,
this is about justice,
but not sufficient.
It's necessary. We need both, right? We need to change laws, but we also need to change hearts. And the third is we want to turn the church into a child-centric fighting force. We as Christians today need to step into that great cloud of witnesses, of people who understood that child protection was more important than their social acceptance. So thankfully, we have got Protestants and Catholics working on some materials that we want to deploy for the sake of the universal church, so that they can understand that they actually do need to get involved in this conversation because it's a mandate for Christians.
They're not just arguing, though, friends, against marriage. They're arguing, again, against that same-sex parenting. They're arguing against adoption. They're arguing against assisted reproduction. And they're arguing against the legal recognition of same-sex marriages. Now, who the heck is behind it? Well, it's supported by major conservative organization and religious organizations, including but not limited to, hold on one second here, Family Research Council, The Focus on the Family, American Family Association, Live Action, influencers like Allie Beth Stuckley and Michael Knowles, which you may know from The Daily Wire. So what the heck does this mean? This means that this is a coordinated network. This isn't just one campaign. This is a coordinated network that is dedicated to ending the rights of homosexuals. Now, these lobbyists that they're influencing, they already have long histories of homophobic issues and opposing same-sex marriage. There is a media strategy that's happening here. So the campaign uses really pretty polished videos. They use these emotional storytelling. They have like anonymous testimonies from children that have been raised IVF or surrogacy or in same-sex marriages. And they're using really simplified slogans like, children are greater than equality.
Is actually the most basic institution of human civilization.
When Obergefell redefined marriage to include same-sex couples, it was billed as a win for adult equality. In reality, it created inequality for children. It made our children less than.
When you redefine marriage, you redefine parenthood. When you make mothers and fathers optional in parenthood law, children are harmed.
We now have these trite phrases like love makes a family, or all you need is just love. As long as your physical needs are met and someone is cheering you on, then apparently you'll grow up fine.
But the kids aren't fine. The kids haven't been fine for quite some time.
You redefine marriage, you have just destroyed the house. You can put together a new house and claim it's the same. Children will know the difference. It harms children in virtually every way imaginable.
We're prioritizing the fantasies of adults, no matter how earnestly those fantasies are felt, over the real needs and the real good of children.
The data that we have says two things. Number one, children do best when they are raised in a home with married, biological mom and dad. The other thing we know from research is that moms don't dad and dads don't mom. It's not enough to say kids just need loving parents, because kids need a particular kind of parent. And parenting comes in two forms, moms and dads.
When you look at social science, it says beyond a shadow of a doubt that children that grow up in a loving two-parent biological home, mom and dad, those children will do best.
There is something primal about our relationship with the two people who gave us life.
Every single child, every single human being is the living embodiment of the relationship between exactly one man and one woman.
It's a mother and a father that bring forth children into the world, and that's by design, because those children need a mother and a father.
There's two legitimate ways to unite a child to adults. The first one is biology. If you made the baby, that baby has a claim to you. The second pathway is adoption, where a child has suffered loss, and a just society responds by placing them with parents who have undergone screening and vetting and background checks to, as much as possible, replicate the kind of protectiveness that a biological mother and father would offer the child. That's not what's happening today.
Marriage policy should be about the children. It's not about bestowing public policy legitimacy and conferring economic benefits when it comes to adults who have their own idiosyncratic romantic desires. That's not the purpose of marriage policy.
Redefining marriage robs children of the natural right to their mother and father.
And it puts adult desires over children's needs. It has to stop. Children
are greater.
Children
Are greater
Children are greater
than equal.
and it's time we fought for their rights.
So there you have it. They're framing it as children's rights. They're framing it as we're going to protect the kids, when really this is just a direct attack on the homosexual. Once again, we keep fighting these ideologies and they keep popping up. I hate to say this, my homosexual brothers and sisters, but I have to be honest with you. I don't think we're ever going to get right to a point where we're not going to be fighting these ideologies, right? I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where we're not having to fight for our existence of our same-sex attraction. I mean, we're getting it hit from both sides. Like I keep trying to tell you, We keep getting hit from both sides, and this is just a perfect example of the extreme on the right when we do examples, of course, with the extreme on the left. Anywho, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. More importantly, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button so that way you never miss a beat and you can always get that notification. Just remember, silence ends here.